Hello, awesome Rev team. So I just wanted to send this message to you as a follow-up from our meeting that we had yesterday. I've moved out to my backyard because it's after work hours now. And I wanted to just share a little anecdotal story of something that happened. Actually, it was at the board meeting. So at the board meeting this past Monday night, we had worked for over a week to be prepared for how we were going to do our first Zoom board meeting. We had had individual trainings with all of our board members. We had practiced. We had everything ready to go. I felt confident about how I looked, about how I had learned how to share my screen when I was ready to give my update. I had done everything I thought I could possibly do because, as you know, our board meetings are recorded and everything that's watched is recorded by, and community members can watch. And so I had done everything I possibly could think of to do to be ready for everything that might come up. I was in my office actually, and Tabitha and I both decided that we would both feel more comfortable being in our offices. So I was in my office with the door closed. She was in her office, which is, as you know, just steps away with her door closed. And we had everything set up. I had a little stand up standing beside me that had every single document that I might need to refer to. I was ready if there was a question that was asked of me. I had everything. I mean, I had it all ready. So I had left home about 4 o'clock. As you know, the board meeting starts at 6. And I had left my home about 4. I got to the office about 4:15, and I was set up, ready to go. So the meeting started at 6 o'clock. And when I left my house, I grabbed my computer, I grabbed my iPad, I grabbed everything I thought I would need. I got to the office, and I literally spent an hour and a half setting everything up. So we started the meeting at 6 o'clock, and I thought everything was running perfectly as planned. We're going to have the best teleboard meeting in the history of Texas, or if not the world. I mean, I just knew that we were ready. Well, we were probably about an hour and a half into the board meeting, and everything was going great. I'd shared my screen perfectly. I had everything, it was great. And then all of a sudden, unbeknownst to me, and I was not prepared for this, I'm talking on the screen just as I am to you now, and on the screen comes up the box that says your battery is running low. And I looked down and I saw that while I am on a live recording of the board meeting with all of our faces, just like they are on our Zoom meetings, and I know that my battery is about to go out any minute. So I hit the okay, and I kept talking and I kept talking. And then when it came a pause in the meeting where I could turn the conversation over to someone else, I picked up my phone and I actually texted it to our whole SAC team. So it went, unfortunately, as it would be, to our whole team. So, but I really was to Tabitha, and I put intentionally all caps, and I put, Tabitha, I need a power cord. And so, and just about the time that I hit that, my screen went dead. And so I knew that means that I had been kicked off of the board meeting. I literally sprinted, pulled my office door open, and ran into Tabitha's office. She was trying to carry on the meeting or whatever, and she was holding out to me the power cord, which I then sprinted back to my office, and I plugged it in, and within a few minutes, I was back online. Tabitha carried on the meeting. I think she just calmly shared out. I think that we've lost Dr. Stone for just a few seconds, but I'm sure that she'll be logging back on, and then she carried on. So today, Tabitha and I received a message from Michelle Duke, Assistant Principal Michelle Duke, saying that she had watched the meeting and saw that I had lost my connection, but that Tabitha carried on without me in my absence until I was able to get back on, and everything just went completely smooth, and no one even remembers it. And I guess I hadn't reflected on that experience, although it was a nightmare to me at the time, because I'm always telling our team to, you know, be prepared, to always be ready for emergencies. And here I did not take my power cord with me when I left the house to go to my office to conduct the very first teleconference board meeting, and I had really high standards and expectations for that. I'm sharing this with y'all because a couple of reasons. There's so many lessons that I could elaborate on about this, but a couple of the ones that really resonated with me today as I was really reflecting back on that. You know, just do your best. I had done everything in my power to have a seamless, flawless board meeting, and I had prepped everyone else to be ready for that. I had everyone to have their presentations in on time. I had board members to have practice how this was all going to work, and I was the one that flubbed it up. But I had a backup, and my backup was our deputy superintendent, who was right there on the ready. Thankfully, we were together, so where she could just hand it off to me. In my, few seconds when I was not on video, she was the one who carried on with the meeting, and that was what I needed at that moment. And no one else really knew anything, and no one else is even going to remember this except for me, to know that these kinds of things are going to happen. And so that's why I really wanted to highlight the thing that I talked about with you yesterday: leverage the strengths of your team. And things are going to happen, and they're going to come up in the coming days with us that are going to be unexpected, and that's okay. It's okay to not always be perfect. I'm a perfectionist, if you haven't already figured that out about me. I am a perfectionist, and I am my biggest critic, and I am the hardest on myself when I mess up. So for me to think that I had messed up that board meeting, I could have decided to beat myself up over it, but I've just decided to let myself have a little grace. I hope that you will remember that and extend grace to yourself and to others, because when we get to the other side of this, again, we're going to remember how we all felt and how we made others feel, and that's what's really important. So I'm looking down, and yes, I want you all to see and register it is past 4:30, and yes, this is a mimosa that I am drinking, and I say cheers to all of you, and I'm so glad that you're all a part of my team. Okay, we'll talk again soon. Bye-bye.